देखिए सैंपल प्रॉब्लम 7 चैप्टर 7-6 ये देखिए रीड करें से। ये कुछ स्टैंडर्ड प्रॉब्लम है, देखिए दो तरह का देख लें, फिर एक्सरसाइज के प्रॉब्लम्स करेंगे और फिर मैं आपका पार्टिसिपेशन भी, इन्वॉल्वमेंट भी मुझे चाहिए आप लोगों का इसमें। पहले एक दो क्वेश्चन में समझा दूं और उसे एग्जीक्यूट करके इंप्लीमेंट करके मैटलैब में दिखा देता हूँ। So in this sample problem, according to question, a vector is given by this V. Write a program as a script file. Write a program as a script file that doubles the element that are positive and are divisible by 3 and or 5, and raise to the power of 3 the elements that are negative but greater than -5. But greater than -5. So using for and loop and if else, let us see how to do this. So first assign V vector V as this one, this array, one dimensional array. Now this length of V will be basically give you the number of elements present in V. I have already used it earlier. Length of V give you the length of this vector V, and size of V will tell you the number of rows and columns. So let us allot this length, this real number, which is length of vector V, dimension to this n. Now for k is equal to 1 to n, we are using the for loop, and if v of k is greater than 0, v of k is greater than 0 means that if we are basically here doing the comparison that at kth place of the vector v, if the kth entry of the vector v is greater than 0, and remainder when the kth entry divided by 3 is 0, double, remember that double equality is used for comparison and single equality is used for assignment, is 0, or remainder of the kth entry with 5 on division, if it gives remainder 0, then what we have to do, the kth entry should be multiplied by 2 and allotted to v of k. I mean the new entry, the kth place should be replaced by its double entry. Else if kth position is less than 0, kth position is less than 0 and kth position is greater than -5, then you have to take cube of that kth entry and then allot to vk, v of k. I mean the kth entry should be replaced by its cube. And after writing here v, basically this is used to display the value of v. That after modification of this array, what is the new v? So now you can see the result. Again, read this statement, what we need here. So vector is given by this one. Write a program as a script file that doubles the element that are positive and are divisible by 3 and or 5, and raise to the power of 3 the elements that are negative but greater than -5. So in the first pass, k equal to 1, the value of k will be 1. So at first entry, here we have 5. At first entry, this is the 5. So already it's greater than 0. It's greater than 0. Basically, we are checking the condition. If this is true, then then computer will take this step. Otherwise, it will go to the next one. So for k is equal to 1, it will access the kth entry, I mean the entry at the first place of this vector, and it will compare with greater than 0. So since 5 is greater than 0 and remainder when 5 is divided by 3 is not 0. So what will, and remain obviously, and or I mean out of these two, at least one should be true. At least one should be true. So since division with 3, its remainder is not 0, or you can say that it's not divisible by 3. But the second condition is true, that on dividing by 5, its remainder is 0. Basically, this one is the multiple of 5. So since first condition is true, so what it will do? It will replace the first entry by its double, that is 10. So in answer, the first entry will be 10. Again, it will come out of the loop, and in the next pass, it will take the value k is equal to 2. And it will compare the second entry. It will compare the second entry. So in this way it's working. So you can see the result on the command window. You can see that in the first pass, the first entry is being doubled. Okay. So similarly, it is working with. Now, I have shown you how to run it on MATLAB. So that part you can do now. I'm not going to run every program. Now, next important article is what is the structure of while end loop and when we will use while end loop, and what is the difference between for end loop and while end loop. So remember that while end loop will be used when looping is needed, but the number of passes is not known ahead of time. I mean, when certain condition is need to be satisfied. So the loop will run until certain condition which we have specified will be met. So you can see that in while end loops, the number of passes is not specified when the looping process starts. Instead, the looping process continue until a stated condition is satisfied. The structure of while loop, and this one is the structure. So while here you have to give the conditional expression. If this conditional expression is true, then whatever commands written in between while and end, that will be executed. And if this condition is false, then whatever commands written after the end statement, that will be, I mean, again it will go to if this conditional expression is false, then it will, whatever written after the end command, that will be executed. And until this conditional expression is true, it will keep on executing. Every time it will keep on executing these statements. So this is the structure of while and loop. So these are the some important points about while and loop. You can study it. Let me explain with the help of example. Look here. This one is we have initialized the value x with 1. I mean, 1 is assigned to the variable x. Now here while condition, while x is less than equal to 15, x will be multiplied by 2 and this 2x will be allotted to this x. So in first case, what it will do, the value of x is 1. So it will compare, since 1 is less than equal to 15. So this line will be executed because this conditional statement is true. This conditional expression is true. So what will happen, that x is equal to 1 is already there, but in the first loop, since this condition is true, so the new value of x will be 2. The new value, again it will go back here. I mean, whatever written in between while and end command, that will be executed if this conditional expression is true. And in next case, again the value of x will be 2. So it will compare the value 2 with less than equal to 15. To less than equal to 15. So what will 2 less than equal to 15? Again this condition is true. So this line will be executed, and with this new 2, it will be multiplied by 2, and the next value of x will be 4. So in the first pass, the value of x will be 2. In the second pass, the value of x will be 4. I mean this value, and it will run until this condition is satisfied. So you can see here, initially we have allotted the value of x as 1 and x equal to 2 is the result in the first pass. X equal to 4 is the result in the second pass, and so on, 8 and 16. Okay, because 16 exceeds. Next time it will not be executed. Why? Because when x is equal to 16, the conditional expression in the while command is false and the looping stops. And whatever written after this will be executed. So this is the difference. And see, if suppose looping is suppose there is some mistake and looping gets executed indefinite times, then you can break it using Control C. You can stop it using Control C or Control plus break keys. Now read this problem, Taylor's series representation of a function using while loop. Problem 7.7. Function fx is equal to e to the power x is given, and you have to compute this series up to some error that is written here. Read this and then I will explain. देखिए इस प्रोग्राम का स्टेटमेंट और डिफरेंस ऑब्जर्व करें कि व्हाइल लूप और फॉर लूप में क्या डिफरेंस है ना। फॉर लूप में ऑलरेडी मैंने देखा कि हमें नंबर ऑफ इटरेशन नोन होते हैं, ठीक है। नाउ राइट ए प्रोग्राम in a script file that determines e to the power x by using the Taylor series representation. The program calculates e to the power x by adding terms of the series and stopping when the absolute value of the nth term that was added last means the last nth term is smaller than 0.01. So here a condition is given. So these type of things are very important whenever you are doing the numerical computation. You will for example, in approximation theory or anywhere, you will find all these. This while loop is very interesting. For example, you have seen the famous Weierstrass theorem, which states that every function belonging to a space of continuous function with respect to sup norm can be approximated by polynomial, up to desired degree of tolerance, or you can say accuracy. So this error is fixed, this function is given to you, and you have to find the polynomial. So this condition is given to you that what will be the polynomial which will approximate this continuous function up to this accuracy, So the same type of thing is here. Basically, this one is expansion of e to the power x, but it will contain infinite terms. Using Maclaurin series, you have studied in calculus that one can expand. And see, Maclaurin is basically particular case of Taylor series. So you know that with Taylor series, because e to the power x, this function is differentiable infinite times. So this series is will consist of infinite terms. But when it comes to numerical implementation, we cannot deal with finite terms. So we have to terminate it somewhere. We have to truncate it somewhere. And once you truncate it, it will be a polynomial. So truncation of a series analytic in complex analysis will give you a polynomial. Even in case of e to the power x. So suppose I truncate it after just 2 terms. So then 1 plus x is a linear polynomial. Let me truncate it after 3 terms. So it is going to be a quadratic polynomial. This is a quadratic. Of degree 2. This one is a polynomial of degree 2. So we are basically up to 3 terms. We are approximating this e to the power x with this term. And as you increase the number of terms, I mean, let us add more terms to it. So actually the exact value of e to the power x is this one is the exact value, and up to say 4 terms. If we approximate up to 4 terms, then this one is basically the approximate value of e to the power x up to 4 terms. So as you increase the number of terms, you will be more closer to the exact value. As you increase the number of terms, you will be more closer to the exact value. Suppose the value of e to the power x at some point, say at 0, e to the power x, e to the power 0 is 1. Because if you put x here, it will be, we have e to the power 0 is 1. Now suppose I want to compute the value of x at say 3.7, e to the power 3.7. So you can see that this one is is an irrational number. So to have its approximate value, let me terminate it up to let us terminate it up to say 3 terms. So what will be the term? 1 plus 3.7 plus 3.7 whole square by factorial 2. And let me call this one is basically its approximate value. Now suppose this sum, let me call this sum as say S, and how many terms we have taken? 3 terms, S3. Now S4 will be sum of first 4 terms. So in this S3, let me add the next term, x cubed by 3, this x cubed by 3. I mean 3.7 raised to the power 3 by factorial 3. So this S4 minus S3, if you look at the nth term, basically sum of 4 terms minus sum of 3 terms. This will be your A4, the 4th term, So if this error, if the absolute value of this error is less than equal to say 0.001, 0.0001, then your program will stop if the last term added, its absolute value is less than equal to 0.001. That is what written here. Hope this is clear to you. Or your program stops and displays a message that more than 30 terms are needed. So we two things we have to limit the pass to number of terms 30, and your error should not, and the last term added, its absolute value should not be less than 0.001. I mean, it will keep on adding if the last term added has absolute value greater than this. ठीक है? So using such program, you need to compute the value of e square, e to the power -4, and e to the power 21. So what is the input required here? Here we have only one input, x. So if x is known, using this series, we can do computation for this. So that is what written here.
ये 0.0001 ये है कि ना लास्ट वैल्यू
हाँ हाँ
छोटी नहीं होगी।
बिल्कुल लास्ट वैल्यू छोटी, या इसको ये भी कर सकते। देखो एक्चुअल है क्या ना कि ये आपका A1 फर्स्ट टर्म है, ठीक है, A1, ये A2 है, एंड दिस वन इज A3, दिस वन इज A4 एंड सो ऑन। अब ये बताओ कि पहला टर्म और सम अगर एक ही टर्म है तो वही सम भी होगा, ठीक है
जी सर।
H2 क्या होगा? A1 प्लस A2।
यस सर।
तो मैं A2 को लिख सकता हूं, इसको ये भी तो लिख सकता हूं S1 प्लस A2।
यस सर।
या मैं ये कह दूं कि सम ऑफ टू टर्म्स माइनस सम ऑफ वन टर्म्स ही तो एग्जैक्टली क्या है? A1 सम ऑफ A2। देखो इसका एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू ले लो, सम ऑफ टू टर्म्स में से सम ऑफ, मतलब nth टर्म सेकंड टर्म निकालना, तो मैं क्या कर दूं, सम ऑफ टू टर्म्स में से सम ऑफ वन टर्म सब्ट्रैक्ट कर दूं तो nth टर्म। तो इन जनरल में क्या कर सकता हूं, Sn माइनस Sn माइनस 1, ये क्या आ जाएगा? An आएगा, ठीक है ना। तो वही वो कह रहा है कि बेसिकली ये दोनों का डिफरेंस क्या दे रहा है? एरर ही तो दे रहा है। इसको ये भी तो कह सकते हैं कि nth टर्म जो ऐड करोगे, ठीक है, एक्चुअली जैसे से टर्म बढ़ाते जाओगे ना तो आपको क्या मिलेगा? e टू द पावर x क्लोज आप जाते जाओगे। वही कह रहा है कि जो लास्ट टर्म हम ऐड कर रहे हैं, इफ दैट टर्म एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू ऑफ दैट टर्म इज लेस देन दिस, then it will stop the program, or if it reaches the 30th pass. And if absolute value is greater than 0.01, it will keep on adding, the number of terms will keep on adding, ठीक है। जैसे मान लो एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू, मैं ये कह रहा हूं, जैसे मान लो एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू किसी एक्सप्रेशन का सपोज करो इज 3, and your approximate value, suppose your approximate value is say some 2.7, so error will be 3 minus 2.7. This is basically your error.
0.3.
0.3 will be your error. I will take another class for this one, what we mean by truncation error and all this. I will deal in a separate lecture. And if you add more terms to this, so obviously see what up to some error we need to, that is same written here, that suppose error is given to you that up to this we need to approximate this continuous function with a polynomial. So replacement of something complex by polynomial, एक मिनट जरा होल्ड करें, मैं आ रहा हूँ, एक मिनट वेट करें। Actually देखो, why whole approximation theory is needed? If you go back to that background, so actually you can say that a replacement replacement of something complex with simpler one is called approximation. It's called approximation. Simpler one in the sense which is easier to compute, which is easier to represent. Okay. So this one, हाँ बताएं.
एजेंडा 18 में.
अच्छा. है. ठीक.
सर हम इसी प्रॉब्लम को रिकर्शन से भी तो कर सकते थे ना?
हाँ बिल्कुल. हाँ तो मैं क्या डिस्कस कर रहा था, बीच में डिस्टरबेंस हो जाता है. चलिए कोई बात नहीं. मैंने ये पहले ये समझ लें थोड़ा क्यों ये सब, बेसिकली सब अप्रोक्सीमेशन का पार्ट है, उसी को प्रोग्रामिंग से समझा रहे हैं और क्या डिफरेंस है. सो रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ समथिंग कॉम्प्लेक्स विद सिंपलर वन इज कॉल्ड अप्रोक्सीमेशन. Simpler one in the sense means which is easier to represent, easier to compute, और जैसे computational cost कुछ बचा है तो ये उस सेंस में. So every continuous function, this one is the famous Weierstrass theorem. I will discuss it in that lecture, lectures of metric space. I will come to this topic when I start convergence, etc. But this is, since this one is a well known, because everywhere in differential equation you will find that solution of differential equation are continuous functions, because if you are taking dy by dx, so y you are differentiating y means y is going to be continuous. So y, since y is continuous, so it can be represented by a function, and that function can be approximated by polynomial. So this is the central theme of approximation theory, Weierstrass theorem. Now it has been generalized to various aspects. I am not going in detail of all these here, but the basic idea is that to approximate the value of e to the power x, we need to keep on adding the number of terms. So if we keep on adding the number of terms, it will go closer to the exact value of e to the power x. So that here we are going to do with this program. So you can see that the only input requirement is x. So using, and every time you want to compute this series, every time you want to compute the value of e to the power x at different x, for different x in this series. So that I want to give manually. So for that we know that in MATLAB this one is a very beautiful command input. The same program will work for different x. So whatever written here, that will be displayed on the screen. So you have to manually let me allot some value of x. When you execute this program, it will ask you to enter some value of x, and then we need to initialize. You can look that this one is fixed, so you can start from the first term by adding x in 1. So you can allot here the first term as 1, and in this one let us add this x. So if s is equal to an, the first term is 1. Actually, let us assume that first term is 1, then we need to keep on adding this. So if while absolute value of an, and this series is running from n equal to 1, so while absolute value of an is greater than equal to 0.01, I mean the nth term, if the absolute value of nth term, the first term is 1, and while absolute value of an is greater than, this is the condition. We are providing a condition that if absolute value of the nth term is greater than equal to 0.01 and the number of terms used is less than equal to 30 and n is less than equal to 30, then these lines will be executed until whenever this condition is made. So each time this loop will be executed, and if this condition, once this condition fails, it will come out from the end while end loop. I mean whatever written in between while end loop, it will be skipped, and if n is greater than equal to 30, if the number of terms is greater than equal to 30, then by display command we are displaying that more than 30 terms are needed. More than 30 terms are needed. Else print exponential values. See, here we have two values, x and the value of x at which we are calculating the series, and its total sum. So I want to display these two results. So the first value of x will be displayed here because the first percentage sign is for the first value of x, and the value of s, the sum, will be displayed at this point. Slash fprintf, new line, the number of terms used is, now you want to also enter display the value of n at this address. I used for integral values of n. Now if you look at the command, just notice that how it runs. And actually in this they have saved it with this name, exponential of x. They have chosen a short notation for this one, expo(x), and using this they are going to compute the value of e square. So here the value of x is 2. So when you execute the program, it will ask you enter the value of x. So let us manually using keyboard enter the value of x as 2. So you can see that exponential value add to, I mean exponential of x is equal to this. So this one is your sum, and this one is the value of x, and this one is your value of sum. Exponential x, its value add 2, and the number of terms used is 12. Again you execute the program. Next time just provide the value of x as -4 using keyboard. So in that case you will see that exponential at the value of exponential at -4 is this one. And once you enter the 18, so either, I mean, it is displaying that more than 30 terms are needed. At exponential of x, more than 30 terms are needed. So this is the basically using the for loop, sorry, the while loop, that until that whenever this condition is met, it will keep on executing. I mean, while loop will keep on executing until this this condition is true. And once this condition is false, it will exit whatever written in between while and end command, and it will execute all the lines written after it. And after it again we have if and else command. So it will follow these steps. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
चलो नेस्टिंग ऑफ लूप वगैरह तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में कराऊंगा. क्लास ले रहा हूँ 5 मिनट बाद. अब ऐसा है ना कि आप लोग मैटलैब इंस्टॉल करके थोड़ा थोड़ा इसको खुद से करते जाएं. देखो बेसिक आइडिया तो मैं दे रहा हूं, पर जब तक आप इंप्लीमेंट नहीं करोगे ना, तो आप कमांड नहीं होगा सब्जेक्ट पे. कोई बहुत टफ चीज नहीं है, आप इंप्लीमेंट कर करके देखो. मैंने पिछले क्लास में बताया भी है कि कैसे इंप्लीमेंट करना है. अब मेनली जो मुझे यहाँ कराना है वो आपको न्यूमेरिकल कंप्यूटेशन करने में इसको कैसे यूज करेंगे. जैसे इंटरपोलेशन वगैरह हुआ, कर्व फिटिंग हुआ, इंटीग्रेशन वगैरह कैसे करेंगे. क्योंकि इंटीग्रेशन बेसिकली ओवरऑल देखो ना, वो अप्रोक्सीमेशन है. ठीक है, तो वो सिम्पसन 1/3, सिम्पसन 3/8, ट्रेपेजॉइडल वगैरह रूल यूज करके कैसे आप किसी इंटीग्रल की वैल्यूज निकालोगे. ठीक है, तो बेसिकली ये सबसे ज्यादा जो यूज होता है ना, एक तो जो इन सब सॉफ्टवेयर का यूज है, एक्चुअली अप्रोक्सीमेशन थ्योरी इंटरफेस है प्योर मैथमेटिक्स और अप्लाइड मैथमेटिक्स में. या ऐसे कहो जो सॉफ्टवेयर एल्गोरिथम जितने भी डेवलप हुए हैं ना, वो सब अप्रोक्सीमेशन थ्योरी का पार्ट है. वो अलग बात है, वो ब्रांच ज्यादा डेवलप कर गया तो उसको एक अलग से नाम दे दिया गया. लेकिन जैसे एमजेडी पावेल वगैरह की बुक पढ़ोगे तो उसमें देखो उन्होंने पूरा बताया कैसे डेटा इंटरपोलेट करोगे. तो एवरी इंटरपोलेशन इज पार्ट ऑफ अप्रोक्सीमेशन. इंटरपोलेशन है बेसिकली उस नॉट से पास करना फंक्शन या पॉलिनोमियल जिससे भी अप्रोक्सीमेट कर रहे हो, वो जरूरी होता है. बट approximation can be replacement of anything complex with the simpler one. So every interpolation is approximation, but approximation need not be interpolation. ठीक है, तो ये सब चीजें हैं.